Hey everybody, we are here at the Colorado Healing Weekend, and it's really going very well. We have a tremendous group of folks here with us this weekend, and one of my new friends that I've met here is Rebecca. She's traveled a very long way. She came clear from the East Coast to be with us this weekend. And Rebecca, what would you say has been your experience? Why did you feel a need to join up with us this weekend?
As I said, earlier, it's a surprise that I'm here because I was at the end of my rope in my relationship with God, and I honestly was about to just throw it all away because it wasn't working for me. And I think through my church, we've been reading through the Bible, and it reminded me, much of the Healing Journey study, which I'm not sure I finished. So I'm not even sure I completed that study years ago. But I think when I saw, the announcement for this weekend, and, something inside me said, you have to go. And so I think, those Bible studies, those verses I've been reading, and then combined with what, the announcement of this weekend, I'm like, something inside me.
Something compelled you.
It did, and rationally, logically, I shouldn't be here because
Right.
I'm kind of done.
And once you got here these last couple of days, what has been your experience?
First and foremost, I think when you walked in to this little group that I'm a part of, that was really shocking, kind of unsettling. I'm like, okay, this is real. God's gonna speak to me this weekend. And I think God speaks through anybody, many people here. Cindy, I think you have blessed and, raised up, quite a few people who are capable of,
We've got great leaders.
Yeah. So, but I think when you walked in the door, I'm like, okay, this is gonna get real, and God's not gonna let me hide this weekend. And for me, what brought me, I think, where I am, I have been angry at God for many, many years, and really just raging. My relationship today consists of just yelling and raging at Him. And I think just maybe one, if not two people know like how close I am to just abandoning the faith. And but coming here this weekend, obviously with you kind of, encouraging me to go deeper. I've really been able, and God has actually prepared the way for this too, like really kind of surfacing how I truly feel about Him and all the lies I believed about Him. I have believed so many lies about Him that He is literally at fault for every evil, bad, dissatisfactory thing in my life. And I think, you have allowed me to express that, be open and transparent about my struggles without the judgment, and maybe, like, well, you know better than this kind of attitude that I have, seen and experienced before. And I think just being able to be open, and transparent with my faith struggles and how I really feel about God.
So has anything shifted for you these first few days?
Yeah, I think for the first time, prior to this, my relationship with God has been, it's been self-driven. I'm not even sure I can call it a relationship. It has been me working, me doing all the Bible studies and the formulaic prayers and the workbooks and the checklists and the worksheets and, just even service-oriented things. All these things that, they say if you put them all together in a nice little pie, everything is going to work for you. Like, that's the magic key. And none of those have been the magic key for me. And I think because I realized God has not been in it. I have not been connected. Nobody ever taught me as a Christian how to connect with the heart of God, how to actually know Him. And also, I think this weekend has, again, been uncovering all the lies. And I can't know God when I'm believing, the worst about Him. I mean, yeah, I can't.
So are you sensing some change now, some hope on the horizon?
I think this is the first time I've attended something like this where I haven't, had my checklist of things I walk away, with, and I'm like, okay, you're gonna go home and you're gonna read all these books and do all these worksheets and say all these prayers.
Right.
I think, it's experientially, I just feel different this time. I feel like I'm actually going to know God, and not only that, He is actually, for the first time, probably, being in control of my life. It's not going to be me at the steering wheel. It literally, Carrie Underwood.
Yeah.
You know?
So it sounds to me like the hope gauge has risen a little bit
It
in
has.
just a few days.
It has. I mean,
Yeah.
quite a lot, because my hope was, like you said, a very
Yeah.
faint flicker. Not
Just
even.
barely hanging on.
Yeah.
So Rebecca, if somebody is maybe thinking about it, considering Healing Weekend, what would you say?
First, I just think, I would say to, take that step in faith. If you're like me, you're like, oh gosh, it's one more weekend, you've been on a number of retreats,
Right.
been to a number of studies and different types of circles. But I came here, the atmosphere is very accepting. I think I found a lot of patience and mercy here. I have found a lot of understanding. And people who I don't, you just don't feel like they're judging you.
Mhm.
I have been very blunt
Mhm.
about how I felt about
Right.
God and the
Mhm.
things I have, unfortunately,
Mhm.
said towards Him.
Yeah.
And but I have not felt judged, and I think having that acceptance,
Mhm.
has allowed me, and made me feel safe enough to go deeper
Mhm.
and work through. And hopefully, I really have hope this time that I'm going to actually know God. I'm actually going to be connected to the heart of God, and not just to my efforts and my work and my practices and disciplines.
And I'm confident this is going to change things for you in a very meaningful, real
Yeah.
way.
Wonderful.
So,
Me too.
thanks for listening. I think Rebecca just has a powerful testimony, and we'd love to see you next
Yeah.
time we do a Healing Weekend.
Please come.